Hello, welcome to my masterclass, and today we're talking about the secret to succeeding at everything you do. Now, I remember when I first read Mark chapter 8 verses 22 to 23. That verse puzzled me, and this was like decades ago. That verse, it reads, "They came to Bethsaida, and some people brought a blind man and begged Yeshua to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. When he had spit on the man's eyes and put his hands on him, Yeshua asked, 'Do you see anything?'" Now, I remember asking myself, why did Christ first take the man out of the town before he could heal him? Why? Because, obviously Christ could heal anywhere. He's the Son of God. And I pondered about that. And then when I finally found out the reason, it just helped me explode my success. It gave me basically the Midas touch. You see, scripture is not written chronologically. So you need a spirit of discernment to connect seemingly unrelated verses of scripture. It was not until God opened my eyes to the connection between Matthew 11:21 and Mark 8:22 to 23, which we just read, that the scales fell from my eyes. Now, if you read Matthew 11:21, that verse says, "Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the miracles that were performed in you had been performed in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes." Now, you see, I've been to Israel. Bethsaida was one of those towns in which Christ experienced unbelief. And we know that where Christ experienced unbelief, he was unable to perform miracles or healings. We see this in, I think it's in Mark chapter 6, verse 5. Now, let me try to read that verse in the New Living Translation. Let me try to get that. It says, "And because of their unbelief, he couldn't do any miracles among them except to place his hand on a few sick people and heal them." I think I got that right. Now, when Hebrews 11:6 says, "Without faith, it is impossible to please God," it's not just talking about your own faith. No, it's talking about the faith of those in your immediate environment and your own faith. So you are affected not just by your own faith, but also by the faith of those in your immediate environment. That's why Lot, you remember Lot? That's why Lot had to leave Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, Lot, obviously, he had faith. The Bible talks about that. He said that he was vexed by the behaviors of the people in Sodom and Gomorrah. But the faithlessness of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah was affecting him. Now, many people are living very unsuccessful lives because they have refused to leave an environment where people don't believe in them. If Christ could not do any miracles in his hometown because of unbelief, why do you think you can? Are you greater than Christ? So you see, in Bethsaida, there was a lot of unbelief, and that's why Christ had to take the man outside Bethsaida in Mark chapter 8, verses 22 to 23, which you just read. He had to take the man out of Bethsaida because obviously he could not heal in Bethsaida because there was a lot of unbelief. Now, you say you want to stay and prove people wrong in a place where they don't believe you or they don't believe in you. You see, that means you've not heard of something called the negative human spirit. You see, why do you think football teams do better on home ground than when they play away? You see, the home advantage, what they call the home advantage syndrome, it exists because the local population, they believe in them and they feed off, that's the football club feeds off their belief and support. That's a positive human spirit. That is faith. That their home crowd has faith in them. Now, the away crowd doubt them and they win more at home because of the faith of their people. Now, do you now see that it is not only your own faith that matters? Now, if you need an atmosphere of faith for you to perform at your utmost level, for you to be miraculous. So you have to get rid of the doubters in your midst, or you must leave the midst of your doubters. And that's why Proverbs 22:10 says, "Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yes, strife and reproach will cease." So that's why Christ had to take the man out of Bethsaida. Because there was unbelief in Bethsaida and Christ could not operate in an atmosphere of unbelief. And that's why you watching me, you have to either leave an area where there's unbelief, or you have to chuck out the people who are unbelieving, or who have an atmosphere of doubt. They doubt you, they doubt your abilities, they're always speaking bad about you. Look at when Christ went to Jairus' house to heal his daughter. What happened there? Christ, when he got there, He said, the girl is not dead, she's only sleeping. And then they began to laugh at him, remember? What did he do? He first of all, he said, remove everybody, took all of them out, and then he was only left with Peter, James, and John, and the parents of the girl. And so you see, that's the same thing that you must do. Either you leave the environment, or if you cannot leave the environment, then you put out all the doubters and then have an atmosphere of faith. And when you do, you'll have the secret to succeeding at everything that you do. Everything that you put your hand to do will succeed, will prosper, because faith is there. And that's what feeds your success. Now, this is Reno Omokri. You can send me an email, info@renoomokri.org, or you can follow me on YouTube, Reno's Masterclass. Search for that. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno